Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. So today I was playing some Stellar Blade and I thought to myself, is PlayStation a stock? And I figured that it is, right? They make, they're created by Sony, so I think they are a stock. So what I wanted to do today was just kind of analyze Sony as a stock and just kind of see, what it's done today, this year, and where it could possibly be headed. So why don't we start? Let's take a look at it. So as the stock market today, before we get into it, let's take a look at the stock market and what it's doing today. So we got the Dow Jones at over 39,416, down a little bit from its 40,000 point mark that it reached not too long ago. We got the S&P 500 at 5,322, and it's up a little bit today. Some of the big headlines from today are still the Ukraine war. Nvidia is really hot with all the AI stuff that's going on these days. But let's take a look at Sony Corporation. Sony Group Corporation. So Sony is a Japanese company. Check me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe they're a Japanese company, but they have headquarters around the world. But the main Sony stock is over there in Japan. So, but they trade here under the name, in the United States, they trade under the name Sony Group Corporation, ticker symbol SONY. And as you can see the gameplay that I have on the screen for you, so try not to be too distracted by it. But anyways, today they're trading at $81.28. They are up 0.02% today. So as we take a look at, and that's what they're trading at today. So as we look at what they've done for the year so far, they're not doing too good. So let me pull up my Yahoo Finance app on my phone, because that one gives me the actual percentages. Let's take a look here. Sony Group Corporation year to date down 14%. So Sony's down. Sony makes the PlayStation. I don't know if you inferred that by the video, but Sony makes the PlayStation, right? They've been making it since about 1994 or whatever the first PlayStation came out. But anyways, they're down 14%. If we can compare that to the S&P 500, which we'll just use one of their ETFs, the SPY. And what's the SPY doing for the year? Let's take a look here. SPY. The S&P 500 is up 11%, almost 12% this year. And we said that Sony is down 14%. So Sony's having a bad year in comparison to the overall stock market. What does that mean? What that means is that if you, at the January 1st, if you said, what am I going to put my money in? Am I going to put my money in Sony stock? Or should I diversify and put it in 500 of the biggest United States companies, the S&P 500? You would have lost 14% of your money as of today, May 23rd, 2024, if you would have put it in Sony. But you would have made over almost 12% if you would have put it in the S&P 500. That's just year to date. That's just from January 1st until today, right? If we can zoom out a little bit more, we can see that the S&P 500, that's a pretty good trajectory, right? If you guys are looking at my hand, when you're seeing it, I guess I should be going this way. But let's take a look at the S&P 500, what it's done over the last 5 years. Wow, so the S&P 500, as measured by this ETF, the SPY, has, ticker symbol SPY, has gathered 88%. So you would have made 88% on your money by investing in the SPY. But if you just kept your money in Sony for the last 5 years, you would have, let's see how much you would have gained or lost. Let's go back to Sony here. Hey, SONY. So SONY, Sony, you would have, over the last 5 years, you would have made 68% on your money. That's not bad, actually. That's a pretty good return, but you'd be having a down year, and you'd only be putting your money in one company, which is Sony. So they don't just make a PlayStation, guys. They do other things. They make other blunders, such as Morbius and Madam Web. So if you want to invest in those kinds of mistakes, then go right ahead and do so. I will say, though, just a disclaimer, any stock I talk about on this channel, I'm not recommending or going against the stock. I'm just a guy playing video games for fun, and I just happen to love the stock market as well. So never take financial advice from a guy that's playing video games all day on YouTube. So do with that what you want. But I just happen to be curious, and I just got curious about who makes the PlayStation and are they a stock? But anyways, yeah, Sony Group Corporation, they make a bunch of stuff. Look at this, animation titles, game applications, music. They got a music division as well. Television networks. Yeah, I guess so. Get their own little app and stuff. They have technology, I suppose. Semiconductor image sensors, charge coupled devices, integration systems, and other semiconductors. So that's a lot of technology stuff that I don't understand. But they don't just make cameras and PlayStations. So, but anyways, what else did I want to cover in regards to Sony the stock? That's not a bad return for the last 5 years, 67%. If we go to their all-time, which goes all the way back to 1988, let's go back to their chart here. I mean, they're not a bad company. You would have made good money with them. Their all-time chart here is filled with volatility, so it means your money can go up and it can go down substantially. So it looks like they hit some kind of peak here in the 2000s. 2000. What happened in 2000? The tech bubble. So all technology stocks were headed up during the 1990s. Sony being, in technology, I'm pretty sure they were in technology back then as well. Also, all stocks were benefited from that rally in the 90s. But 2000, the bubble burst. A lot of stocks went down. Sony's went down as well. No surprise there. Let's say they tried to make a comeback in 2002. Kind of stagnated there for the rest of the year. Big recession hit in 2008, and they went down. They stayed down. So if you would have bought stock in 2000, right before the bubble, then you would not be making your money back anytime soon. They were at $142 in 1999. When did they hit $142 again? They got close to it in 2021. So I don't know why this. Well, I was gonna say I don't know why this chart is green, indicating that you would have made money, but the chart is measuring if you would have started buying stock in Sony back in 1973, you would be up today. But I was trying to tell you that if you would have bought your stock back in 1999, you still wouldn't make your money back. So you would still be waiting for it to reach $142. So you got to be careful with these things. Timing is important, but yeah, timing is important in the case of this stock here. So Sony Corporation, they make the PlayStation. PlayStation plays games like the one you're seeing here, Stellar Blade. Great game. I love, you know, everything. The plot is great. The action sequences, all that stuff is really good. So if you haven't played that game, I will recommend that you play that game. Will not recommend that you buy the stock Sony, because I don't make stock recommendations on this channel. Plus, you wouldn't want to hit a rut there where you buy the stock and then it's like it just goes down for the next, what, 20 years? It's been 20 years since it hit its high and hasn't been back. Now, if you would have bought it back in like 2012 and held it till today, well, then that's a different story, right? You would be making some money, but otherwise you're not going to be making a whole lot of money. Earnings per share, they have earnings, so, you know, obviously no surprise there. They're making money, even though they come out with
no blade, just like
really bad movies at times that people don't want to see. And some of the games that they come out with are not very good. Stellar Blade is not made by Sony. It's not made by PlayStation. It's made by a studio called Shift Up. They're independent, so they're not owned by anybody. They're not publicly traded or anything like that. There are studios that are publicly traded, like I think it's, and I want to say Epic Games is a stock, and they make Fortnite. Let me just check real quick. I think they are. Oh, come on. Don't give me that. Is Epic Games a stock? Well, I don't know. There's one of the gaming companies that's a stock, but anyways, that's gonna do it for this one here. We just wanted to review Sony, the stock, makers of PlayStation. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Probably just playing games. Probably not a whole lot of stock analysis on this channel. It's probably just going to be a bunch of wacky commentary on the games that I'm playing. So stay tuned. We'll see you. Bye.